Coach, the sun is set in Chicago. The temps have dipped and will continue to do so. Jacket and blanket weather. It's that time of year at Soldier Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Giants and the Chicago Bears. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On first down, Trubisky. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment. But here, he's one that has to absorb the contact. And as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. First carry now for David Montgomery. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10.
Ready. Yeah. Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. Start.
Off the play fake. Owens. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now Drake. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
I mean, you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays, getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This is brought in at the 21. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Trubisky. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. Caught by Montgomery. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. I ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a long night.
On second down now, it's Montgomery. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From midfield now, here's Trubisky. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. 2nd and 14. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Khalil Mack has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Owens. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. The CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Yeah. You don't want none.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. This time Trubisky will throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 35.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field. Pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route well run, and the football right on the money.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the Giants' 14-yard line.
We're scoreless after 1. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. A give to Montgomery out of the gun. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Bears on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Alert, 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 alert. 57, Mike, 57. Hey, Echo. Watch the run.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
And feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
On 2nd down, it's Drake, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
On the ready. 45 to Mike. Blue down. 61, match box, right. Hey, high 7.
Operating from the gun, Owens. Looking deep for Hilton. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points seeded.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts. That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Trubisky's pass is caught by Ridley. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear first down.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
180. Mike 50, Army.
Now Trubisky on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Incomplete.
Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, 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 and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
The Bears on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Trubisky will throw. Open man is Miller. He's got it. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. Nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Montgomery back to the ground. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The Bears on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And this won't get there, won't be on line either. It's no good, off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over. This one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice, where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real.
Well, throw left side to start out. That's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Running, it's Drake. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 1st down Giants on a pickup of 14. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And this is caught at the 8. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
60 Pittsburgh. Coming to you, coming to you. Look at me. Go, go. Go out. Go.
On 1st and goal, Drake. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
They'll try and pound it in with Drake. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. And give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably doing play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4 down territory.
And he is in. Touchdown, Giants. It's the fullback. His second touchdown on the season. And the Giants have taken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Trubisky to throw. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
I'm coming after you.
Throwing here, Trubisky. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson.
Intercepted by the Giants. His guys take over 1st and 10 at their own 47.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. And he hits Drake. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen to Drake. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. Disaster there, resulting in a loss of 7 on 3rd down. And the Giants send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally, because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Now they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Trubisky now to throw on third down. And Robinson with a big catch. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Looking to throw again, Trubisky. Completes it to Miller. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 14 yards and a Chicago first down.
First and 10 at the 13-yard line.
Go! 180! Know your job! Check 13! Check 13! Alert, 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 alert!
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now Trubisky. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. I tell you what, credit is due there on them preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick six? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field position. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Off play action. Owens. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. The Giants on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. Owens. And Ingram hauls it in. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, a 22. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. On 1st down, Drake. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. On the toss play, this is Drake. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Kenyon Drake, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And some space here. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. A great pick, nice return, but you know he's just beating himself up inside for not getting all the way in.
No doubt about it, because he had visions of end zone in his mind. Going to be the total hero, but we did see there the emphasis on his not.
And the Giant rush gets home as down he goes. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left. roll him out, bootleg it, do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now.
Loss of 2 on the play. It's 3rd down and goal to go.
You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal.
Hey, we got 3 down.
Now it's Trubisky. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Adam Shaheen, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are back within a single score. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Now Trubisky to throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know what I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense. Right?
That's true. You've said that before. That'll be taken in the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Throwing on 2nd down. Trubisky buying time to his left. He's going to take off with it. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
All right, partner, I'm a defender. I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run with Montgomery. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him 4 on the carry there. It's 2nd and goal.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
2nd and goal from the 1. Throwing now is Trubisky. And he's got his man. That's Robinson. Touchdown Bears. Allen Robinson. His first touchdown on the year. And the Bears have retaken the lead. They'll try and run it here. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. And he will not get there. He comes up short. And they're unable to push this lead to a field goal as it'll remain a 1-point game.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready up.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So Tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time.
It's caught inside the 25. And he takes this thing way down into Chicago territory. A big play there for the Giants. 56 yards. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. They run toss to the right with Derrick. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Leo. Rock it.
Right back to Derrick. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Ready, set. 58, come on. Look at me. Door. Door out. Check. Kill. He's coming. We got double up. Keep gripping.
On 3rd down, Derrick. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And the kick by Rosas is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of. But now it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Giants, the playoffs may be out of reach, but the win gets them to 4-8 on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Chicago,